What's going on, guys? Welcome once again to another PC update for my 2012 water cooling gaming rig. Today, as you can see, we have gotten a lot done since my last update video. I'm sorry for not making that much updates, guys. I haven't been feeling too good lately and haven't had a drive to work on my PC, but yesterday I just went all out, did all the tubing, and we finished everything. The only thing left we have to do is a few more things in cable management, and we gotta do a leak test for the actual system. But there's a lot of stuff that's been done with it, so this is going to be a fairly long video. And also, I've gotten a lot of notifications on Facebook saying they love my build. I have almost 50 likes on my picture, and Zoxide Modding actually uploaded it, so it's pretty awesome, pretty inspirational for my second build and my first water cooling build ever. But well, I'm going to stop rambling, guys, and I'm going to show you the components of this beast because it's pretty awesome. So I'll see you then. Alright, guys, here we got our Swiftech Apache HD white version, clearly as you can see there. Water block on top of our CPU, which is an Intel i7-3770K Ivy bridge. I'm going to be overclocking this processor not too hard, probably 4.5 gigahertz, and I'm going to try not to go over 1.3 volts because there are heat issues with the Ivy bridge, but we'll see how it performs with our custom loop. We are going to be using black ice coolant. It's non-conductive just for my sake of mine in case there are leaks because this is my first build. So yeah, guys, that's our Apache HD water block from Swiftech. Now onto our graphics card. Alright, guys, this is our GTX 680 Hydro Copper from EVGA, as you can see clearly there. I was kind of displeased after 2 weeks of buying. I saw they released the 690, which isn't a big deal. I can easily get another 680, but I have one con about this card. As you can see me pointing there, that shines red when the system's power on, and I have a pretty solid color scheme in this build, and I'm afraid the red light's going to affect the color scheme with the build because it's strictly a black, white, and blue theme, but maybe we could power it off in the options somewhere else inside the actual software. But anyways, guys, that's it for the graphics card. Now on to the radiators. Down at the bottom, I got a 120mm radiator from Swiftech. I believe it's the Quiet Performance, and I'm using an NZXT Performance fan on top of that. I tried doing a push-pull configuration, but it looks so odd because the actual construction of the fan is smaller than the width of the radiator, so it looked pretty odd. I have a push factor on that through a dust filter, so it looks pretty good. And we also have a 360mm radiator mounted at the top of the case. This is a Swiftech radiator, and it is Quiet Performance like the 120mm mounted at the bottom of the case. We have 6 NZXT Performance fans, 3 at the bottom pushing air through the radiator, and 3 at the top pulling it out, as you can see here. These fans really don't push as much air as I thought they would, so I got the Quiet Performance, which the fins are actually spread out, unlike most radiators where they're so thin. That's why you have to have such high RPMs on your fans to actually push air through. These fins are actually spread out and allow air to move more freely through the actual radiator, and it's a good call for me using the NZXT fans because I really wouldn't want to change up my fans because I'm all about aesthetics, and I don't want to have random fans around the case messing with the color scheme. But now I'm going to move on to the power supply, so let's check that out. Down at the bottom, guys, we got the NZXT Hale 9080 Plus Gold Certified 1000 watt modular power supply. It has a single 12 volt rail, and that's going to provide us stability and clean current delivery under heavy load like when we're gaming or overclocking. And it also has a white finish that matches everything in the build. It totally has a clean aspect to it, and I really love this power supply, guys. And moving on to our very sick RAM, guys, we got the G.SKILL Ripjaws X, 2 sets of 16GB, which gives us 32GB, which is pretty amazing, and it's running at 1600 megahertz. I may be overclocking this. I really don't see a point in overclocking RAM unless it's past 2000 megahertz, but I mean, I may always do that. But as you can see, as we pan over here, this is our Frozen Q Reservoir. I have a few concerns about this Reservoir, guys. I've been reading a lot of reviews after I bought it, unfortunately, that this thing is pretty crappy. It looks really cool, it's really appealing to the eyes, but reading the reviews, they say right off the bat they got leaks near the inlet, and you know, I really don't want to deal with that, so I may be going to the EK Reservoir with the 8 ports, which is a pretty awesome reservoir as well. I'm kind of displeased that Frozen Q is letting out products like that, but you never know who reviewed it. You never know the mental capacity of the person that reviewed it, or maybe he's a little kid that fucked something up in the process of making it, but we'll see where this reservoir brings us, guys. One other small concern I do have is whenever I received my radiator, the box wasn't damaged at all, but few fins were bent on the actual radiator. Like, they weren't bent, they were kind of crushed, and you can see the brass underneath it, and I hope it isn't messing with the actual lines for the fluid to run through, or that would cause a disaster. But I'm just going to wait and see and be very cautious with my leak test, because I really don't want that shit going anywhere on my actual parts, so I'm going to cover everything up and be totally cautious about that. But last but not least, guys, this is the loop order. Basically, the reservoir feeds it into the pump and it's shot out to the CPU and up into the triple radiator, and that cool water is going to be shot down into the graphics card and then all the way down to our 120mm radiator at the bottom and back into the system. We also have an MSI Z77A-GD65 motherboard. This is a very nice motherboard for the price. It has a lot of features. I heard MSI is pretty hit or miss, but I'm sure it's going to be a very great motherboard. And also we got the Swiftech MZP655 pump, a very reliable pump, and I must say getting the tubing on those barbs was very hard. We got 3/8 inch tubing and that's 1/2 inch barb, so you can kind of see the difference there. So you got to heat the tubing up and stretch it out and give it your best shot to actually get the tube around the barb. So that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I really hope you enjoy the computer as well. I must tell you guys, it is a blast to make these things, and it gives you a really good feeling when you see the end result of your actual computer, because it shows who you are, guys. It shows your style, your personality with this computer. I'm a pretty professional guy, so I made a very clean and simple build, and it turned out amazing. I want to thank everyone from West Coast Mod and Zoxide for making me feel really good for this build, knowing that it's my second build, and I'm really proud of myself for tackling the task of water cooling, and I must say I got a lot of projects coming up. I have my A+ certification, and I've never really done much with it, so I might branch out into the IT and computer science and start modding and building computers for a living, as well as controllers. But stay tuned for more videos, guys. I'm going to have the end result of the computer when it's fully running with some pictures and some slow videos. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more.